Welcome to the Road to the State Championship, featuring the Cambridge South-Dorchester Vikings.
Welcome to the Cambridge South-Dorchester Road to the Championship Special. We've got Wawa coming in shortly for our watch party during the game. But for now, let's talk about the postseason Vikings voyage. CSD is back in the state finals for the second consecutive year. But before we get to the title game, we're going to take you back to where their playoff run began. After coming off of a first-round bye in the first round of regionals, the Vikings took on a Pocomoke squad with a game that went down to the wire. In this 1A regional semifinal, Cambridge outlasted Pocomoke 67-66 in this contest. Jaden Mason and LaMarquise Douglas combined for 35 points on 77% shooting for Pocomoke. It was the Vikings, though, that squeaked out a victory in the closing moments of the contest. Now, this game was just the beginning of the theme for this postseason run for Cardiac Cambridge, which is grit. And we now move to the regional finals, where the one-seeded Vikings would face the two-seeded Snow Hill Eagles. Let's take you to Valhalla. 1A regional crown on the line as the Vikings try to do it yet again. We're going to start this thing with DeMar Brunson for the Eagles. These two rivals have been going at 1A for the better part of the past decade. Brunson putting in the triple, and then here comes Sterling Perkins with the lay-in as Cambridge South-Dorchester answers. Then from downtown, it's Kobe Ennels. Book it from three. And Johnny Revels, he's got a response of his own. Puts that three ball up and down. And they make it back-to-back threes for the maroon and white. That one's good from distance. We got a 13-13 tie end of one. Ennels to the rack, puts it up and in. He gets the basket to go. And then Kobe doing his thing off the feed from Samaj Pinder, who can also get it done around the rim. Revels up ahead. Brunson with the scoop layup. Pinder going back to doing his thing. Samaj has taken such a step forward this year as a junior. Heady player, bucket and a foul. And he can also get it done shooting the basketball. The up fake, dribble, pull up, cash. Cambridge up 34-25 at half. Ennels would get the party started in the second with an and one bucket of his own. The senior would make the free throw as well. Then Keandre Nixon says, watch this. Butter from downtown. Fourth quarter we go. It's a 47-43 game. Sterling Perkins, that finish is gold. CSD would hold on to win it 64-61. And if you bear with us to the 1A quarterfinals, it was just like football. Vikings against Fort Hill. Ennels with a tough bucket to get us going, but then here comes Jamel Daniels with the answer. And then look at Jaden Harris, knee brace and all, getting up for the finish. More from the Vikings. More from Ennels. Another deuce for the senior. Good bucket off the window. Now it's Heavy's turn. Anthony Hughes, quarterback of the football team. He can also get it done on the hardwood, hanging in the air and hitting the floater. Let's keep it moving with the Vikings. Three won't go. Samaj Pinder, he is there to clean up. That is a grown man's finish underneath. The Vikings can also fill it up from downtown too. Pinder lighting it up from range. But then it's back to Ennels. Kobe having whatever he wanted in this first half. That tap back's good. Sentinels searching for an answer. They're going to get one from the southpaw. Liam Hamilton buries the three. And here comes Fort Hill. Hamilton with the pickpocket, the pirouette, and the pretty finish. Now the Sentinels want to get the big fella involved. Ball works its way into the post with Landon Green. Check out this soft touch around the cup. Working on Camarian Hall and flipping in two. They get some momentum back, and then here comes Pinder, quieting the run with the N1 bucket. And then the Vikings would begin to pull away with some transition. Darren Belazar on the break. It's a one-on-one. He can't finish, but Khalil Johnson's there for the follow. And they were dancing in Groove City from there as the Vikings go on to win it 53-44. But that was the journey through the state quarterfinals. Next, we will see how CSD prepared for the state semis on the other side.
Welcome back to the Road to the State Championship.
Under a half hour until tip-off at the home of the Terps for the 1A state title. But first, we visited Valhalla to test the temperature of the Vikings prior to their Final Four matchup with Liberty. It was the calm before the storm. Cambridge South-Dorchester practicing one last time before that Final Four date with the Lions. The Vikings gearing up for a team that took down Bayside foe in Colonel Richardson. Liberty topped the Colonels in the semifinal matchup 76-47. The Vikings defeated Fort Hill 53-44 to get to this very game. The state semis. We got a chance to talk with head coach Sean Tucker before that one. along with senior Kobe Ennals and junior Samaj Pinder, on how they have been playing every single game like it is their last all season.
Actually, we've been echoing that all season, and they've been playing like it. A couple games they got a little away from them, but this is it. Lay it all on the court, leave it all on the court, play hard, play for your brother, and let the chips fall where they fall.
This team means everything to me. They basically my brothers. Like, I love them like my mom had them. Like, so many words couldn't explain how much I love them for real.
We just gotta play together. I'm gonna try to play my hardest. I know my teammates gonna try to play their hardest, and hopefully we can just come out top with the victory.
Well, let's see if they came out on top with a victory. We're going to fast forward to the day of the game. Let's relive that Final Four matchup. Vikings coming into the evening on the brink of their second straight state title appearance. And I was up in Upper Marlboro, Maryland for that semifinal contest. Let's revisit the action.
Much like these wise ladies back in 2011, Cambridge South-Dorchester boys basketball is once again a state finalist. For the second straight year, CSD is headed back to the final after the Vikings defeated Liberty 65-63 tonight. Let's get into the action. CSD in the Final Four for the 14th time in school history. Liberty, winners of 13 straight. Samaj Pinder got the scoring started with a layup. He'd put in the first 4 points before Sterling Perkins joined the fun with not one, but 2 3-pointers in the first. Timeout Lions. Cambridge led 19-12 after 1. Then in the second, enter Liberty's Gavin Speece. The junior buried 4 threes this quarter alone, including this triple to tie the game for the Lions at 27. But the Vikings ended the half on an 8-0 run, capped by Pinder. The second half was all back and forth. Tristan West with the block. Speece, a 3 for the lead. Then after another CSD make, it's Jaden Zumbrun. Fouled beyond the arc, Liberty up by 3. Yet again, CSD had an answer. This time, TJ Wilson sticks a 3 at the buzzer. 50-48 Vikings ahead at the end of 3. Final 2 minutes we go. West, with Liberty down 63-60, ties the game with a 3, Lions 13th of the night. And with 10 seconds to play, the ball once again found the hands of Thomas Wilson, this time to send the Vikings to College Park.
But those are the kind of plays that you draw up in the dirt, and you're like, listen, we're going to get the last shot, but you got to just be patient. And we bobbled it a little bit, but those guys were resilient. We were trying to get a backside curl for TJ. I wanted him. He was open for the 3. He's been hitting, but he curled it and he let that thing go, and all I saw was whoosh.
Oh no, I knew it was good. When it left in my hands, I knew I was making it.
Wilson, Coach Tucker, and the rest of the Vikings now set their focus on the seed school this weekend. A win would give CSD its first state crown since 1996. Reporting from Upper Marlboro, Tim Nolan, DSN.
A couple things I love from that. One, the shots from Trey Beckett, our guy continuing to kill it. Also, that soundbite from Coach Tucker where he just goes psh at the end. It's fantastic. And that was just the broadcast cut with reactions from Tucker and Thomas Wilson. Let's hear their thoughts on how this team has played throughout this postseason, and we're going to start with the head coach. Here's Vikings head man Sean Tucker on what makes this year's Cambridge team different from the one that battled Edmondson Westside a season ago.
Man, words can't describe it, because as a coach, you ask your kids to go to battle for you, and when they don't, live up to their expectations, you're kind of bummed out. But at the end of the day, these guys are coached, and they know me, and they stay together. And finally, we put a game together. And unfortunately, we didn't put a great defensive game together, but just enough to hold off at the end. And those are plays, and our motto, in practice, hey, make winning plays. And that was a winning play. The guy we just want to win, man. And those guys were calm. We've been there before. So playing teams like Decatur, playing teams like Seaford, it has us prepared for games like this. Because we are winning different ways this year. With Sean Moody last year, great player, he's done an awesome job. Sean could beep and take the ball and go score and get a bucket. This guy, we got to pass the ball around a little bit more and work. So this team we're more together because guys are touching the ball. And you got 4 or 5 scorers on the team. Everybody wants to score, but hey, just be patient and the ball will find the open man.
Now, 2 of those scorers stopped by to talk with us post-game as well. Samaj Pinder and TJ Wilson both scored 16 points in that Final Four win. Here's Wilson first and then Pinder on the keys that have been propelling the Vikings this postseason: confidence and communication.
My coaches and my teammates told me to shoot. They was like, shoot with confidence, shoot with confidence. My coaches always told me all season, shoot for confidence. So I knew what I was doing in the start of the game. You know, like, we fight hard, we aggressive. You know, like, if we really aggressive and everybody trusting each other, nobody can beat us. I'm very excited to make it back to the States again. You know, we want to win this year, though. We ain't trying to lose. I feel like we're more aggressive and we fight more harder this year. All summer we've been working together, you know, trying to get our chemistry up, trying to make sure everybody's together. I feel like we're going to win this. I feel like we're going to win this year.
We did a great job talking. We didn't let the game get away from us. I felt like we did pretty good at communicating and sticking together. We got that God go get it mentality. We came out short. We don't want the same thing to happen again. We just gotta fight harder this time, and we're gonna come out on top.
Under 20 minutes to go before we see if the Vikings can truly go out and get it. Before we're going to take a look at things from College Park, we will get a game day forecast from Chief Meteorologist Mike Lischiak on the other side of these messages.
Welcome back to the road to the state championship.
Just 15 minutes before the title game. First, we're going to take a look at the forecast for those of you who are able to make the travel to College Park. Here's WBOC meteorologist Mike Lischiak for your Title Health game day forecast.
Hi there, friends. Happy Friday to you. We've made it to the weekend. We are expecting warmer temperatures, especially Saturday and into Sunday. Saturday, though, comes with a caveat. The caveat is if you're at the beach, expect that cloud deck to still be there for much of the day, as the wind will be southeast to south. It turns southwest on us as we go into Sunday. That's how we get everybody up into the 70s. But it does come with that chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, and it may even linger into the first part of our Sunday. And that chance of showers and storms is not until very late Sunday evening and Sunday night. So we get through most of Sunday on the dry side as well. So as we wake up Saturday morning, a lot of cloud cover overhead. Temperatures in the 40s across the area. Notice the climb up into the 50s and 60s and 70s, near 70 degrees on your Saturday afternoon. At our beach towns, maybe very late in the day, we finally break apart that cloud deck that's been overhead. We wake up to a partly to mostly cloudy start to our Sunday morning with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Springboard well up into the 70s. It's a partly cloudy afternoon across the area. And then we get into Sunday night. That wind out of the south continues, leading to this, that chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight Sunday into Monday, and maybe some lingering rain showers as we wake up on Monday morning. By Monday afternoon and Monday evening, we start to dry things out around the region. Overnight tonight, the wind out of the south and east, and throughout the weekend, the wind will be a southerly wind. But notice there is an easterly component to that wind still on Saturday, and that's why I'm thinking at our beach towns we're going to be stuck with that marine layer at least for one more day. As we work overnight Saturday into Sunday, the wind turns south, and eventually it will turn south and west on Sunday. But look at the strong gusty winds that we start to see ahead of that cold front on Sunday afternoon. We're talking wind gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour, which will lead to those temperatures up into the 70s. Behind this front, we cool things off a bit for Monday, but then we spike right back up into the 60s and 70s as we work our way into Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, as we wake up on Monday morning, a few lingering rain showers across the area, but by the afternoon, we start the drying process. And we have nice weather on the way for Tuesday and for Wednesday as well, with those temperatures climbing up into the 60s and 70s.
Welcome back to the road to the state championship.
Just minutes to go before tip-off for Cambridge South-Dorchester. Yesterday, the Vikings had their final practice before today's state final. It was loose, it was fun, and CSD made it clear this time they are ready for the moment. DSN's Luke Milai has more.
Following Cambridge South-Dorchester state championship loss in 2024, there were some questions on if the team would have enough to reload after graduating a 25-point-per-game scorer in LaShawn Moody. But the Vikings did not share that sentiment.
Everybody just wanted revenge. We knew since day one we wanted revenge. Everybody been fighting hard.
And that vengeance was evident as the Vikings finished a perfect regular season and were rewarded with the #1 seed in the state playoffs for the second straight year. They say it's all thanks to the effort.
Keep fighting. Don't play the scoreboard. play the game, hustle.
A bunch of hard work.
But there is one thing on the Vikings side in this title game that they did not have last season.
We've been here, and just experience is the best teacher that you can have. Last year was, even though we wanted to win, we came up short, but coming in this year, I think we're a little bit more prepared because we know what to expect.
We're not going to go in here with no nerves and just go out here and ball out.
As the Vikings vie for their first state title since 1996, head coach Sean Tucker says he already knows his final message to the group before tip-off.
Hey, have fun. Because at the end of the day, it's a game. We're fortunate and we're blessed to play this game of basketball, and it's just a game. Have fun. And when you have fun, and like I said before, let the chips fall where the chips fall.
From the summer,
Marion Hall's going to give it up to Enos. Enos is going to take it himself and slam it.
to the regular season,
And Pinder keeps it going, 32-22.
to the state playoffs. This group is hoping to have fun one final time. Reporting from Cambridge, Maryland, Luke Milai, DSN.
He was in Cambridge yesterday, and now we have Luke Milai standing by in College Park. Spring break capital of the Northeast. Luke, thank you for joining the show. Just a couple more minutes for tip-off. My first question for you would be, heard that CSD students got a chance to take a half day today, make the trip, or starting to fill up with navy and gold inside College Park?
Yeah, talk about having a feel for the moment. Cambridge South-Dorchester High School, they offered every student a half day if they wanted to come to the game. Buses were provided, and you can see a little bit behind me, there are plenty of fans behind the CSD bench on the far side of the floor, so far outnumbering the Seed School fan section, so a great showing from the Vikings faithful so far.
How about the size of the Seed School on the floor? We know that this is a front court heavy team. You look at them during warm-ups. How do they stack up versus the Vikings?
Yeah, well, that's what the Cambridge South-Dorchester coaching staff talked to me about yesterday. So many of these teams across the bridge, it's the guard play that you worry about. With the Seed School team, yes, it was a guard who hit the game winner in the semis. It is their size, and they've got some sizable guys, but no one that's too much bigger than a Kobe Ennels or a Kamarion Hall. I think the Vikings stand up strong to the lineup you see with the Seed School.
You talk about it in your package, but last year there was some nerves, Luke. This season, you have the benefit of playing in this building a year ago, and the core is almost entirely back. How have these kids looked in warm-ups, and do they seem ready for the moment?
Tim, we just had CSD do their pregame huddle right next to us, and compared to yesterday, how fun and loose they were absolutely locked in today. Kobe Ennels was the spearhead with all of it, making sure everyone was focused and locked in. This is a group that made it very clear last year they were a bit nervous coming out onto this floor in this environment, on this stage. But this time around, they're much more comfortable. They've said it themselves, and they've shown it on display so far.
All right, let's talk about some keys. How does Cambridge South-Dorchester come away with a victory and win the Shore's first state championship in Bayside hoops since 2016?
Well, we know they'll bring the energy. We know they've got the offense to put points on the board. If CSD can win the rebounding battle, I think they're in a really good spot. The size of the Seed School is the biggest concern going into this game. If the Vikings with Kobe Ennels and Kamarion Hall can hold down the paint, they should be in good shape, letting guys like Sterling Perkins, Samaj Pinder fill up the buckets. It should be a good game.
Let's talk about matchup specifics between the Vikings and the Seed School. Any particular player that you're looking for to have a big game and potentially propel the Vikings early on?
Offensively, I'm looking at Samaj Pinder. He's going to have the ball in his hands just about every time. The Vikings feel very confident about their guard play in this matchup. Pinder has the size that not many high school point guards can bring to the table. He can get to the paint, he can shoot the ball. I think for other guys, you look at Kobe Ennels all season as a scorer, but he'll have to be a defender tonight. Look for Pinder to take the stranglehold of the scoring in this game.
You know, one thing we often wonder about in a venue as big as where Maryland plays is the depth perception, especially when it comes to shooting the three ball. How did the Vikings look in warm-ups dealing with that difference?
Well, they were calm. They came out here and started firing three-pointers. Coach Tucker had to say, hey, we got 20 minutes left in warm-up. Everybody move in. They feel very comfortable with the distance so far. It didn't look like anyone was unaccustomed to this depth perception that you talked about. They've all been here before, and they look pretty comfortable out here on the floor. Starting lineups just got announced, so they're feeling good to go.
Awesome, Luke. Well, we will let you enjoy tip-off in the first half. We will hear from you every single quarter. We look forward to it. Thanks as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim.
Awesome. That is that for the special. But stay tuned on the other side of this break, because when we come back, we will have the Wah Wah Watch Party. Myself, Patrick Cassett, have you ready to roll from the Wah Wah Studios. Can't wait, and it should be a good one. Vikings, seed school, Cambridge South-Dorchester with a win. We're the first boys basketball program out of the Bayside to do it since Pocomoke in 2016. We'll see you in a moment.